So today, you'll learn how to blur a face in CapCut Desktop. So the first step is to launch the desktop app, and then you want to click on Create Project. Once you've done that, you should then open this window on your screen. So from here, you can now start editing. The first step is to add the project. So you want to go to Import underneath the section labeled Media, and then you want to click on this plus icon. From here, it will open the File Explorer. So from here, you want to navigate to wherever it is your file is saved that you want to use to create your project. So for me, it's in my downloads. So I'll navigate to downloads, select CapCut, and then I can see all my project files. So I can just click on it and then select open, and it will be added to the import section. Once that's happened, it's time to add this file to the timeline. To do that, you can just click on this plus icon on it, or you can just drag and drop it directly onto the timeline. So now once it's been added to the timeline, you now need to blur the whole video. To do that, you want to ensure that the video has been selected. So if it's been deselected, just select it like that by clicking on it. And then you want to come to the top and select the option labeled Effects. Under Effects, you want to use the search function and you want to type in blur and then search. So then here, you should see all the blur options that are available for you to use. If you can't see any of these options, then you also want to ensure that you're actually under the video effects section and not body effects. So if you're under body effects, just navigate back to video effects and then again, search blur, and then you should see it listed in the results. So from here, you want to select your blur. So for me, I'll be using this one right here because it will cover the whole video. So I'll just click on this download icon, and then once it's been downloaded, you want to click on this plus icon. Once that's happened, you should see the effect has been applied to a specific part of the video. So the main thing is to ensure that it's covered the whole video. So to do that, you want to ensure that you've selected the effect by clicking on it. And then you want to use the handles and you want to drag until it covers the whole video. So it should end where the project ends, and then do the same on the other end. So now, whenever you play your video, like that, you should see the whole video has been blurred, which means that you've done that successfully. So then now, the next step is to add this video again to your timeline. So to do that, go back to the media section, and then select yours, and under yours, you should see the section import and ensure you're there. From here, you want to click on this plus icon, and you can see the video has been successfully added onto the timeline. So what we want to do is to overlay this video on top of this blurred option here. And to do that, you just want to drag the video and you want to place it on top of blur so that it's at the top of the video and not underneath the blur option. So once that's happened, you can see the blurred video has successfully disappeared. So now all you can see is the new video that we've just added. So now from here, the next step is to ensure that you've moved this timeline to the beginning of your video. And then from here, you want to ensure that you've selected the top video. Next, you want to go to the right panel, and under the video settings, you want to select mask. Under mask, you want to choose your shape. So for me, I'll be using a circle because it's easier to blur with. So once you click on mask, click on add mask, then choose your shape. And then what you want to do is simply invert this mask. So instead of the face being highlighted, you want it blurred. So look for invert, which is this one here. Under mask settings, you have this one. So click on it. You can see the face has now been blurred. So now what you want to do is simply drag it around and then adjust it so that it's only covering the face. And then once you've done that, it's now time to play the video, and you can see that the face has been blurred. You'll also notice sometimes that as the video moves along, you'll notice that it still leaves some spaces where the face hasn't been covered. So if you want to ensure that you fix that so that the face is completely covered throughout the whole video, you'll need to add keyframes. And to do that, you'll need to move the timeline to a point where the face is no longer covered. So for example, when you reach this part, you'll notice that the hair hasn't been covered. So what you want to do is simply add the keyframe. To do that, you want to move the timeline to that specific option. Then you want to come back to the basic settings now instead of video, and you want to click on add keyframe, and then you want to move the mask back to cover here. So to do that, you'll have to go back to mask settings, and then now you can now move the mask to that specific position. Now, whenever you play there, you'll notice that the mask is now moving. So that's what you want to do throughout the whole video. Whenever you notice that the face is no longer being blurred, then you want to add a keyframe. So go back to basic, select add keyframe, and then go back to mask. And you want to move the mask so that it's covered the face again. And you want to keep doing that throughout the whole video. And then when you're happy, you can just stop and go back to editing everything else. If you have multiple people in your video, like the way I have in mine, then you'll need to go through each person and keep adding different keyframes for each person's face. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and we'll get back to you.